Welcome back to another review by Mega Train Lover. Today we're having a look at another Bachmann locomotive. As you can see, you can probably tell from the box that this is a very old Bachmann model. This is easily late 90s, early 2000s. It's a very, very old model. However, the tooling for it is still being made, albeit the chassis has been upgraded since. You can probably tell from the picture what it is. But if you're not familiar, this is a LMS, X LMS, Ivatt class 2MT 262 tank engine. Now, I've already reviewed, almost 2 years ago now, the tender engine version of this, so you can go check that review out on the channel. However, this is the tank engine version. So, let's look at the box, which as you can see is very old. And if we open up, you can see the locomotive is not in the box. I've taken it out, given it a run in, and there's quite a bit of information about the class if you'd like to read. There we go. You can see you get a diagram of, well, not a diagram, like an outline of the locomotive. On the back there isn't anything, but if we turn to the side, product code is 31450A. It's an Ivatt tank, number 41272. BR line black with the late emblem, so not early, that's a bit of a mistake, and push-pull fitted. This one, you can probably guess, I did get second hand from eBay, and I saw it for such a good price that I literally could not resist it. It cost me £40, and the best part is it's DCC fitted. It's incredible. I mean, you know, £40 for a DCC ready, DCC fitted locomotive. Yeah, fantastic. I mean, and it is a locomotive which I have been wanting for quite a while. I am aware Bachmann do a modern, you know, one with a modern chassis, but the prices for those are extortionate for a model which basically the tooling hasn't changed. The actual body of the locomotive is the same. It's only the chassis which has received an upgrade. The price, £140 for a 25-year-old tooling is ridiculous in my opinion. So, you know, I went for the second-hand market, saw this one for 40 quid, went for it. Simple as that. So, a bit of information about the Ivatt class 2 tank engines. There were 130 of these built between 1946 and 1952, and they were built at both Crewe and Derby Works to the design of H.G. Ivatt, who was the last chief mechanical engineer for the LMS. Now, 10 of these locomotives were actually built by the LMS, but the remaining locos were all built by British Railways. As said, they were built up until 1953. And they worked on a variety of duties, on branch lines. They did some mainline work as well. But rather unusually for a Midland design, they didn't just work on the ex-LMS systems. They also went to work on the southern region as well. There were quite a few of them stationed on the southern region, and also some of them went to work on the Lyme Regis branch again, the southern region. Chesham, they also worked on the Chesham branch, and yeah, you know, they did quite a bit of work. They even did some work on the Great Western for a bit as well. But yeah, the Midland and the Southern, those were the two areas where these were really quite focused, which is, you know, quite unusual for a Midland design to run on the Southern. But the reason being is because the Southern lacked modern tank engines. I mean, the most modern tank engines they had in the 1950s were probably they were the USA dock tanks, but obviously those were confined to Southampton. You also had the Z class from the 1930s. But yeah, you know, again, they were very few and far between. These locomotives were withdrawn in the 1960s. Final withdrawal came in 1967. 4 of the tanks have been preserved. One of them, well, 2 of them I have seen in real life. One of them is number 41312, which is preserved on the Mid-Hants Railway, and the other one is 41313, which is preserved on the Isle of Wight Railway. However, it came to visit the Spa Valley Railway last June for their gala, and I went to see it. Yeah, both fantastic locomotives. 41312, obviously one of only 2 resident mid-Hans locomotives, steam locomotives operational, but it is an absolutely fantastic locomotive. I really, really love it, which is actually one of the reasons why I wanted to get a Bachmann model of the tank engine. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the box to one side, and we're going to look at the locomotive, which is right here. Wow. Wow. Okay, so I'm going to review this locomotive with the mindset that this is 20 years old. Well, over 20 years old, this tooling. We're not going to... I don't really want to compare it to modern RRP prices, but I guess I'll have to because the tooling's the same. Now, let's look at this first with the mindset that this is 20. This particular model is 25 years old. It looks very nice. It's quite reasonable. These two discs I fitted myself. I am aware that this particular loco didn't work on the southern region, but yeah, I've turned this into a southern region locomotive all the same. That's just me, but yeah. Now, the locomotive, it does look quite nice. I mean, it captures the basic shape of the Ivatt quite nicely. There are some separately fitted details, such as all this, like the handrails. I think that some of the push-pull equipment as well, some of that looks separately fitted. But there is quite a bit of moulded detail as well. Actually, is there? Yes, these handrails, they're just moulded to the capside doors. The ladder on the back, that looks to be a separately fitted piece. However, the lamp irons, no, actually lamp irons, they seem separately fitted as well. This one here, this is a step, that's not a handrail, just in case you're wondering. Obviously, you would expect, moulded detail for a model of its age. There are one or two seam lines, again, which is expected of a model of from the 1990s. No sprung buffers, again, yeah. You basically have to look at this with the mindset that this is 25 years old. I mean, overall, it is a really nice looking locomotive. Now, the chassis is quite crude. Of course, this is the split chassis, which is quite difficult to DCC, but someone has managed it. The rear trailing wheel here, as you can see, it hangs down quite a bit, and there's a massive gap between the wheel and the chassis. Yeah. Now, credit where it's due, it is quite flexible, so it's very unlikely to. I don't know if it's likely to derail, but yeah, but it does. But it's okay, it does the job. And one thing which I'm quite surprised about, for its size, it's actually quite heavy. But obviously it's got the split chassis, it's an all-metal chassis, which is really, really nice. You can see the previous owner fitted real coal. If we look at the cab, that giant bulb is actually because the previous owner had fitted a firebox glow into it. So you can, as you can see, you can customize these locomotives, which is which is quite nice. I mean, you can do that with any model. But yeah, so I mean, I'm looking at this model with the mindset I paid £40 for this, and it is well worth the money because yeah, £40 bargain for DCC fitted model. Even if it is as old as it is, it's still a really that's still a really good price for a DCC fitted locomotive. Now, let's kind of look at this with the mindset that Bachmann are still making this, and they haven't changed the tooling, they've only changed the chassis. As far as I'm aware, that's basically what they've done. Now, I mean, it's ridiculous. That's the only way I can put it. Charging £140 for a brand new chassis is, without any updates to the tooling itself, I mean, that is a very, very cheeky move by Bachmann. I'm sorry to say that. you know, really, if you're going to be charging that much, you should have updated the tooling. But that's the only reason I was very reluctant to buy the new version of this. That's why I kept looking on the second-hand market, and thankfully I found this model DCC fitted. You know what a coincidence. But yeah, I mean, overall, there's not an awful lot to talk about. You know, it is quite an old tooling, but looks are one thing. Let's see how the locomotive performs. So here we have the Bachmann 2MT tank on the track. What we're going to do, we're going to select a number. Before I do, just going to show you the firebox glow. As you can see, looks really quite nice. Of course, this is a modified pre-owned model. It didn't come with one when it was new, of course. Anyway, let's give it some power and watch her go. Wow, considering the age of the model, really quite nice. Yeah, not too much noise. Bearing in mind this is a split chassis, which is a bit hard to see, but can be done. Yeah, really nice. Let's get a few shots of her passing. Yeah, really nice. Oh dear. Okay, hopefully the rear railer will work. The front bogie derailed slightly, but it's okay. Yeah, no, really nice, honestly. Considering the age of the model, yeah, not bad at all. Let's see it pass over the level crossing. Yeah, not bad. So just to conclude this video, I would only recommend this model if you can get a pre-owned one at a good price. And of course, if you only use DC, I was quite fortunate to find this one DCC fitted at a good price. But hopefully, you know, you've had the same kind of luck. I wouldn't go for the newer ones by Bachmann because, quite frankly, £140 for a new chassis with the same tooling is a bit of a waste of money. But anyway, thanks very much for watching, and I shall see you in the next video. Goodbye.